We have a lot of chefs coming through our kitchen and our patio, but today you're meeting the first one to have cooked for not one, not two, but of the last 3 Governors General of Canada. And today he is sharing some of his recipes with you. That is Chef Cameron Stauch. His recipes are straight from the pages of this book, Vegetarian Vietnam. And we welcome Chef to our kitchen and to our patio this morning. Good to have you with us.
Good to have you.
My first thought when I looked at this is it is fresh. It looks so healthy and delicious and good for me at the same time. First of all, what have you learned by cooking for the last 3 Governors General? That's some pretty high clientele.
Yeah, no, I learned that just like many other Canadian families, we all have generational tastes, and that, you know, representing Canada with our global flavors, we have a multicultural community here.
True.
So it's not just ingredients and, you know, kind of old school food, it's food from different communities that we all represent. So, you know, here's some Vietnamese food today that we're doing for you.
All right, and some of the flavors that you're going to show to us, recipes you're going to show to us, these are based on Buddhist monk recipes. How did you access those?
Sure, so I was living in Vietnam for 3 years, and I was interested in vegetarian food. My son, at the age of 4, decided to announce he was a vegetarian.
Really?
So he's part of the inspiration of this.
Okay.
And so then I reached out to monks and nuns, and I went and cooked in the monasteries with them, cooked with home cooks.
What an honor.
It was a deep honor. It's a deep honor to share their recipes and traditions with people.
Okay.
And so I was able to spend time in their kitchens and learn some little tricks and tastes.
Show us, please, some of those tricks and tastes. And some of these ingredients, some of them I don't recognize. I'm looking forward to learning.
Sure. So these are some like leaf rolls. They're perfect. You can use Swiss chard or collard, but you're going to have to kind of cook them a little bit if they're harder. But they have some noodles, vegetables in there. We've got these wonderful cucumber and pineapple rolls with some radish.
Ooh, those look
Typically,
amazing.
they use banana flowers in there because they just pick it off the tree really in the yard. And then today we're going to be using some jicama.
What is that?
Jicama, you would find it's a tuber, and you'd find it in some Latin American cooking as well. So if you go to Latin American stores, think of a crisp pear. Think of
a pear.
It's like a turnip and a pear. The pear texture, as far as an Asian pear.
Okay.
Great texture with it. And then we have some watermelon radish.
Beautiful.
And multicolored carrots. So these are great from the farmers markets that you can pick up these days.
Are we going to make these?
We're going to make some rice paper rolls today.
What do I need to do?
So I'll do one, and then you want to follow?
Sure.
Okay, so people think that you need to just put the rice paper in for a long time. You need it for about 4 to 6 seconds.
Oh,
and
really?
like just kind of warm water.
Okay, just to make it enough to make it pliable.
And then it'll rehydrate on the counter here on the table mat.
Okay.
Then you want to make sure you put some leaves to protect it from piercing the rice paper.
Ah, smart, okay.
And then I like to keep my ingredients separate so that you get a little bit of each. If you are an impatient person, you can mix them all together and then put them in, but you're not guaranteed.
Oh, good.
You're not guaranteed that you're going to have all of the ingredients together. And then you put some herbs. Now the key here.
Which herbs did you add?
Mint, basil, and cilantro.
Oh, smells so good.
So then the key is the first roll, you just want to do it tight.
Okay.
And then it's almost like
fold.
Then it folds in, and then simple tight like that. Now people tend to overstuff them.
Okay, but see, those ones look nice and juicy.
That's because it's a different one. It has pineapple in them. So we're doing these ones here with the rainbow rice paper.
I got it. Now, what are we dipping these in?
So you have a dipping sauce here, which is an everyday table sauce. It's rice vinegar, soy sauce, chili, garlic, lime juice. You can have a taste of that.
Oh, wonderful. It's very good.
It's great for summer. Yeah, and that's the thing with Vietnamese food. There's textural layers. So there's always crisp vegetables. You've got the herbs. And what's interesting is the sauce is always the seasoning. You know, so if you notice these vegetables and herbs, there's no salt or pepper, but everything, all the seasoning is in the sauces.
Now, you also use jackfruit. I'm familiar with jackfruit because in Sri Lanka we have it as well.
Yeah, no, they make wonderful jackfruit curries there, right? And so this is what it comes like out of the can. So it's kind of like an artichoke.
Yeah, and it's big. Like, it's big like this, and it's a little bit prickly on the outside.
It's the largest fruit that, like, you know, it can get to like 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And so when they're unripe, and it's key that you get jackfruit in brine or in water.
Okay.
Because you've had a ripe jackfruit before?
Yes.
So the ripe jackfruit kind of has almost this bubblegum flavor.
Yes.
Like it's lovely. Like it's really aromatic, but they're gonna have that in syrup. And it's gonna be yellow color when it's ripe. So people are using jackfruit for like pulled pork, vegan, vegetarian pulled pork sandwiches.
Okay.
in Vietnamese food, they kind of replace pork or tuna, chicken.
Because it's got that texture.
It's got that texture, and the great thing is you can you pull it apart, so it kind of becomes stringy.
Almost like a cooked chicken.
Exactly, or pulled pork. You know, if it looks like pulled pork.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't have much flavor as this, but its versatility is it absorbs flavor.
Like a tofu.
Like tofu, and that's why in Sri Lankan cooking, Vietnamese cooking, it takes in those curry flavors or soy sauce if it's braised.
Soaks it right up.
And it just has a wonderful mouthfeel when you do that.
I love everything that you've brought for us here. I love the variety. I love the freshness. I love that we can make it all here in Canada. Like you said, we can bring the world to our table.
And the great thing is that you can these days you can get most of the ingredients at the grocery stores, or you can do an excursion to the nearest Asian or Vietnamese or Chinese.
And bring your cookbook as a guide, because you have done a beautiful job of not only explaining some of the culture and history, you've got beautiful pictures in there and amazing recipes too.
Yeah, and I've got substitutions for those. If you think there's an Asian ingredient you're missing, so let's say for banana flour salad, you can use cabbage instead. Make a nice Asian coleslaw, Vietnamese coleslaw. I
loved going through your cookbook. I loved sampling your food live here. Thank you so much for coming on the show this morning.
Yeah, have a good day.